It's not harmful to drink, but it causes a earthy smell and taste issue, and that's exactly what we're dealing with right now. To me, that seems like the most logical, not knowing exactly what the problem is. So we're beginning, bottles are shipped, I think they have them today.
We spent millions and millions of dollars on the water plant, right? And the expectation is that it is drinkable. I know it is drinkable, but when there's a taste to it, yeah, I know it's safe to drink, but is it drinkable because of the taste, right? So that's, but I appreciate that a lot. And, you know, I know the difficulty of not pinpointing the specific problem, but at least we're trying to figure it out by testing and through our partnership with CBCL in that house. So I appreciate that. Thank you.
Yep, thank you.
Blaine, when I first moved here 43 years ago, in the hot time of year, the gas were overrun, the smell and taste was really strong. And I drink the water. I don't drink bottled water. But I haven't tasted it. Is there a reason for that? Maybe it's in certain areas where it's not, and others are stronger. I don't know. Maybe the mayor or Susan or somebody else. How do you find the water?
I find the water fine coming out of my tap, but my neighbor has sent in a complaint in saying it's really smelly in her, so I don't know what the difference might be, but it seems from house to house almost.
I feel like people are probably, certain people are more sensitive to it maybe.
I know in our water fountain here in the town hall, I know immediately that, well, at the time, it's, oh, the gas burrow are running, right?
Yeah, I definitely taste. I don't find the taste any worse than it was last year, but we are getting more complaints, and
Yes,
I don't know if that's
definitely.
because there's more people working from home, drinking it all the time. I don't know, but we are getting more complaints about it for sure.
I know water's always been an issue since I moved here, and I think it was, different mayors and council have tried to solve the problem. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Your button's off there.
Making Simon happy. I guess now it's water conservation.
So yes, so another issue that we have, as council will remember, they passed a bylaw back in February regarding water conservation. And Blaine can certainly help me out with the details of this, but we had listed 3 different stages for people being able to use the water outside. They can still use it, for their everyday things, but their watering of their plants, their filling up of their pools, and washing of their cars, that would be prohibited on certain times of certain days, depending on what the water level is in the river. So basically, and Blaine can certainly chime in here at any time, but we're already at the lowest level for stage 3, which according to the bylaw is 1.4 meters square foot per square.
1.3 cubic meters per
Thank
second.
you. So this is June, and so Blaine sent a letter or an email to the Nova Scotia Environment just to kind of see if there's some movement there that we can get on the levels. Otherwise, we're going to be on restriction all summer. And that's just not acceptable. People can't be not expected to water their flowers and that sort of thing all summer. But having said that, if we are able to get the levels at least adjusted a little bit, we will have to start enforcing the bylaw. This summer will be more education-wise because this is new for everybody. But we will have a water information number line that people can call, like almost similar to a burning ban, where they can call every day to see what restrictions they're at. Information will be going out to every household through Canada Post on the details of the program and what the different stages mean. So I just wanted council to be aware of that. And once we have more information back from Nova Scotia Environment, we will certainly let you and the public know.
So we're waiting on that back from the environment before we do anything.
And that it also affects our splash pad as well. We certainly can't put the splash pad on if we're in restrictions. Our hanging baskets, our flowers that, the Communities in Bloom work so hard at, we have to be a little bit.
So we put in a letter to Nova Scotia Environment to request collecting data and reviewing it, and then in the fall we can adjust our numbers to see if we can make. So we're waiting to hear feedback on them.
So in the question of flowers and watering our flowers and that, is there any way we can get containers and save the water you know, a drum or something or a large drum when we have plenty? So when we get the drought, that we can utilize the containers instead of taking from the tap. Is there something? Can we?
Yeah, currently now we're using containers, but we withdraw the water from a fire hydrant, so
Yeah,
it's
that's-
coming from our system anyway, so.
But we certainly would encourage residents to do that, Councillor Knight.
I have to go back to the Susan. Do you remember when they had the barrels, the barrels at the side
Yes.
of the house?
We had an outside well, so.
So, Blaine, what you're saying is that we are not enforcing the bylaw yet.
We're putting a request in not to enforce it, yes, yeah. And it's due because the reason is now we're in stage 3, which is the most restrictive stage, and basically no outdoor use, and it's only the middle of July. So, or sorry, middle of June, and so residents wouldn't be able to, you know, have any outdoor use of water
So let me ask you
until
this.
for the summer, basically.
Yeah, let me ask you this. Did we have this gradual, or did it just fall off the cliff?
No, it went from stage 1 to stage 3 within a day.
Oh,
So the numbers aren't working. That's why we're requesting to review the data and see what the numbers.
I would recommend to implement stage 1, which is the least restrictive. Is that correct?
That is correct. That one is the alternate day use.
Yeah, I would recommend to start using the phase 1 just so that people get used to it, first of all, and understand how it works, and from a conservation perspective as well. We have to try, right? So whether the numbers make sense or not, I would recommend that we go that way, phase 1. Phase 3 with nothing, that's unacceptable. But the alternative would be water meters. But even with water meters, I think we're still going to have that problem. I think last year, Blaine, we have asked maybe for you to research alternative water source. Have you gave that any thought at all?
No, we've been in talks with other municipalities. I don't know if that was last year or the year before, but that's as far as it went. We would require some fund or some money set aside to do a
And that's
study.
Exactly. So,
Yeah.
and everything starts with the first step.
Yeah.
So I think this year's budget is cooked. So unfortunately, we forgot about it. But next year, please make it a priority on your list to do the study to understand what are the different options, whether it is a well, whether it is from another municipality, or whether it is from the county and another well somewhere as well, or lake. I don't know.
Yeah.
But that will be a priority for the town because the water problem is not going to go away. I'm assuming we need a motion for phase 1.
We, in past practices, the town just went ahead and implemented it. I don't think they had to go through council. If it probably came from the direction of the engineer.
And I would agree with that. I think by passing the bylaw, that's all what is required, and then staff, immediately will implement that. But
Yes.
I would recommend going to phase 1. And I will be affected by that. I'll be the first to say, because I have a lush green lawn, which I love. But, we have to do.
You press your button there, Councillor.
On the question here, I think what the problem is here today and why we had such a drop is we do not have the proper numbers yet, do we? On the amount of water that is coming down yet.
We wouldn't have had numbers for flow numbers of the river until this year. Yeah, you're right.
That's right. So I don't think we should put phase 1 into effect yet. I agree with Blaine. I think we should wait until the environment and Blaine's numbers correspond here, find out where we're at before we go ahead with phase 1.
Yeah, it was kind of what I feared when this process was put into place, that we're going on theoretical numbers and not actual data, right?
So I would hold.
And the stage 3 trigger number is based on an ecological maintenance flow, which is supposed to be suitable for fish passage and aquatic life. So that's where that came from. But as we looked at the river when it was 1.3 last week, there was lots of river, well, like there's still lots of water at 1.3 cubic meters per second. So we have to sit down and maybe get together with Nova Scotia Department of Fisheries and Oceans as well and discuss this. But
So,
Thank you, Councillor Pence. I appreciate your input on this. Thank you, Councillor Pence. I appreciate your input on this. I firmly believe that we need to show the Department of Environment and our resident that we are responsible users. I think there's enough evidence to say that the water is low. Maybe it's not the slowest, maybe the numbers are wrong, but we do have an obligation to try to educate our citizen. And I think this would be, and it doesn't have to be for a full month or a full summer, but if you implement it for a week, and then off a week, and then on a week, just so that our residents get used to it. You never know what the Department of Environment can come back with, and this is just a sign of us trying. That would be my recommendation. Thank you.
just want to add, having the bylaw in place now, though, does serve its purpose, because for us, putting fish aside for a moment, the biggest concern we have is supplying our residents. So if we have a problem trying to maintain our reservoirs, at some point in July or August, we can put the stage 3 into place and completely restrict outdoor usage.
Let me understand this. If we implement the whole package here, right?
Phase 1.
No, I said if we put in a bylaw, implement it, then we leave it up to the engineer, and it's up to him to make the decision on where we should go with it. Okay? Okay, I'll make a motion that we make a bylaw for going with the plan. Don't need a motion? Okay.
The bylaw is already in place. We don't need a motion. That was just a recommendation on my end, and I will leave it up to the engineer to make a decision. Thank you.
Any other questions?
Just on the splash pad, says that's closed now?
No, it's open.
Okay, good, thank you.
One section was open. We're missing a sensor on part of it, so one part's not working.
That it for everyone?
That's it, yeah. Madam Chairman, before we go on to anything else, I'd just like to bring up, I saw our mayor on television, on computer today with the mayor of New Glasgow, and they were doing some scavenger hunting, was it? So I just want to highlight the scavenger hunting for anybody that wants to. Are you guys allowed to collect your reward, by the way, the mayors?
No.
You know where everything's at.
So I do want to thank you for bringing that up, Councillor Knight. The town of Stellarton as well as the town of New Glasgow are working together on providing some services recreation-wise with regards to tennis lessons. Some residents have asked in the past for some tennis lessons, so we're going to offer them from the instructor that New Glasgow has. Also, the scavenger hunt is between the Albion and the Sampson Trail, so those kinds of things are happening, and we're also going to be educating the public on the fixed transit route, and that will be worked together between Stellarton and New Glasgow as well. So.
Can I ask another question of the mayor, just to get a public, because I get a lot of people asking me when the bus route is going to start up and what's the hold up? Can you probably enlighten the public?
Sure, the delay in the startup is we haven't confirmed the federal funding portion yet, so the province has confirmed their piece, the two municipalities, but we haven't heard from the federal government yet. Our MP is working hard on it. I know he's running some obstacles he's overcome, but we haven't got to the point yet where it's been confirmed, so just waiting to hear that. Once that's done, then we'll have a date for launching.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next meeting will be July the 27th, 2020, at 5:30 here. Somebody like to adjourn the meeting?
So move.
Thank you, Gary.